Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Aspirants Academy. Today let us discuss an important sensory organ in this video lecture, that is about the eye. Okay, so eye is nothing but it is an important sensory organ, so which is helpful for the enjoyment of the beauty of nature. Okay, so here we can enjoy the beauty of nature by the help of this sensory organ. Okay, so here we have a pair of eyes in the sockets of the cranium. Okay, so here nothing but they are called as eye orbits, right? So here we have a pair of eyeballs are present. So here the visible part of eye is only 1/6 part. Okay, so the visible part of eye is only 1/6 part of eye can be able to visible. Okay, so here these eyes are protected by the eyelashes, eyebrows, and as well as the eyelids. Okay, right, so let us discuss about the internal structure of the eye. The internal structure of eye. So here in the internal structure of eye, fine, right. So here in the internal structure of eye, it is consisting of three major layers. It is composed of, the eye is composed of three major layers. So first let us draw the diagram. Right. So this is the outer layer. Okay, so it is nothing but the outer layer. Okay. Fine. So this is called as a outer layer of the eye. So this outer layer of the eye, is called as sclera. The outer layer is called as a sclera. Okay, it is non-elastic, tough, whitish color layer present on the outer surface, on the outer side of the eye. Okay, so the outer layer is called as sclera. Okay, so here the sclera bulges out. The sclera bulges out and form cornea. Okay, sclera bulges out and form cornea. Fine. So here the sclera, outer layer, it bulges out and forms cornea. So here on the inferior side, the sclera got attached to the optic nerve. Okay, it is attached to optic nerve. So it is the outer layer. Okay, so here the outer eyeball. So here the anterior part of the eyeball is covered by a thin transparent layer. Okay, this thin transparent layer is called as a conjunctiva. It is called as conjunctiva. Fine. So here the eyeball is protected by a thin transparent, a crystalline. Okay, that is structure is called as a conjunctiva. Right. So here beneath the sclera there is a second layer is present. So the second layer is called as a choroid layer. Okay. So this is the layer that is called as a choroid layer. Fine. So the second layer, the middle layer is called as a choroid layer. Fine. So here this choroid layer, it extends. The choroid layer, it shows some extension. Okay, so here it extends up to the pupil. It extends up to the pupil. So here in the anterior most part of the eye, it is consisting of a small aperture. Okay, on the anterior most part of eye, it is consisting of small aperture. This aperture, nothing but this empty space. Okay, so this pore is called as a pupil. Okay, this aperture is called as pupil. So here this choroid layer, it is extends up to the pupil, but it won't cover. Okay, it won't cover the pupil. It extends up to the pupil. Okay, So this choroid layer extends up to the pupil and form iris. Okay, this structure is called as a iris, right? So extension of choroid layer is called as iris. So here on the inferior side of this choroid layer, right, it got connected to the blood vessels. Okay, it got connected to blood vessels. The sclera connected to optic nerve. Fine. So here in the just behind the pupil, okay, just behind the pupil, it is consisting of a small crystalline transparent lens. Okay, so here the small crystalline transparent lens is called as a biconvex lens. So here what type of lens it is? It is the biconvex type of lens is present. So here just behind the pupil, it is consisting of a biconvex lens, right? So this biconvex lens is held in the position, okay, by the help of the suspensory ligaments and as well as the ciliary body. So here the biconvex lens is held in a position by the help of the suspensory ligaments and as well as the ciliary muscles or ciliary bodies. Okay, suspensory muscles, suspensory ligaments and as well as ciliary bodies. Okay, so here this is the second layer, that is called as a choroid layer. Actually this choroid layer is thin, elastic in structure. So here the inferior side, okay, so here about 2/3 part of the eyeball is covered by this choroid layer. Right, so here on the internal side of this choroid layer, it is elastic and as well as thinner. But here on the anterior portion, it is thicker, nothing but a thick structure that is called as the iris is formed. Okay, so here it is, the iris is not same, okay, in all the individuals. So here the patterns of the iris, nothing but the visible colored part is nothing but the iris in our eye. Okay, so here this visible colored part which is called as iris is not at all same in any two individuals. Okay, right, so that is why nothing but in the identification, okay, in the identification proofs, right, so rather than the thumb, okay, rather than the fingerprints impressions, okay, so here is iris, the patterns of iris also will be noted. Okay, right, so because the iris structure, the patterns of the iris will not at all be similar, okay, among the two different people. Fine, so it is about the second layer, that is called as a choroid layer. Okay, so here this biconvex lens, the biconvex lens, it separates the inner eyeball into two chambers. Okay, so here the outer chamber, this outer chamber is called as aqueous chamber. Okay, the outer chamber is called as aqueous chamber. Okay, so here in this aqueous chamber, it is consisting of a watery type of substance is present in this aqueous chamber. Okay, so whereas on the inner side, it is consisting of a jelly-like substance is present. Okay, so that jelly-like substance, right, is filled in the vitreous chamber. Okay, so here it is called as a vitreous chamber. So here nothing but this biconvex lens will separate the inner eyeball into outer aqueous chamber, inner vitreous chamber, whereas in the aqueous chamber it is consisting of a watery type of substance, whereas in the vitreous chambers it is consisting of a jelly like of fluid is present. Fine. So it is about the second layer, middle layer, that is called as the choroid layer. Okay, so next on the inner layer, okay, so here the next layer is nothing but inner layer. So this inner layer is known as, okay, so this inner layer is called as a retina. Fine. So this third layer is called as a retina, right? So outer layer is sclera. Outer layer is a sclera. Middle layer is called as choroid layer. Inner layer is called as a retina. Okay, so here in this inner layer, it is consisting of some of the receptor cells. Okay, so they are called as a ganglionic cells and bipolar cells, and third one the photoreceptor cells. So here it is consisting of these different kinds of cells, nothing but which are helpful, okay, in the production of the action potentials. Clear? So nothing but what are the cells? They are called as the ganglionic cells, bipolar cells, and as well as photoreceptor cells. Right? So here these photoreceptor cells, in this retina region, it is consisting of the different photoreceptor cells. So here the photoreceptor cells are nothing but one is rods. Okay, so here these are the purplish blue in color. Okay, so these rods consisting of a pigment. Okay, so here the pigment, it is nothing but the pigmented protein. So that pigmented protein is called as a rhodopsin. Okay, so here about 125 millions of these rods are present. Okay, about 125 millions of rods are present in the retina region. Okay, so whereas next are cones. Right, so these cones are consisting of a pigment that is called as a iodopsin. This iodopsin is a pigment, right? So here about 7 million of these iodopsin pigment. Okay, so here nothing but these cones are present. So where in these cones it is consisting of the iodopsin pigment. Okay, so here actually these rods are helpful in the vision when the intensity of light is very less. Okay, in nothing but in the dark time. Okay, so here when the intensity of light is less, right? So here these rods are helpful for the vision. So thus this vision. Okay, so here this vision is called as a scotopic vision. Okay, the vision is called as a scotopic vision. Okay, so nothing but these are helpful in the observation of the things in the night time. Okay, so next is cones. Okay, so here these cones are helpful, okay, to see the objects in the light in the daytime. Okay, so nothing but here when the intensity of the light is more, okay, so here it is helpful. These cones are helpful for the observation of the colors, primary colors such as red, blue, and green. So these are the primary colors, and as well as these cones are helpful in the observation of these primary colors, and as well as the combination of these colors also. Okay, so here in the retina region, this optic nerve, okay, optic nerve where it is leaving, okay, the optic nerve where it is leaving, right, and as well as the blood vessels where it is entering into the eyeball. So here in this portion, okay, in this portion, these photoreceptor cells are absent. Okay, so this portion is called as blind spot. This portion where the photoreceptor cells are absent, right? So this portion is called as a blind spot. Fine. So this portion is called as a blind spot. Fine. So here on the lateral margin, okay, so here on the lateral margin, on the lateral side of this blind spot, it is consisting of, okay, it is consisting of the heavier number of, okay, so here nothing but more number of photoreceptor cells are present. Okay, so this spot is called as a yellow spot. Okay, so here this portion of the retina is called as a yellow spot. Fine. So here in this yellow spot is also called as a macula. It is also called as macula. Okay. So here this macula is consisting of a small deeper notch. Okay. It is consisting of small deeper notch. This deeper notch is known as fovea. Okay. So here this macula, a yellow spot, it is consisting of small deeper notch. It is called as a fovea. Okay, so here nothing but in the black spot, here this is the place where the photoreceptor cells are not present, nothing but the blind spot. The blind spot is the place where the photoreceptor cells are absent, whereas the yellow spot is consisting of more number of photoreceptor cells in it. Clear? So it is about the internal structure of eye. Right? Let us discuss about the functioning of eye. See here, whenever the light focuses onto the object, okay, just imagine the light focuses onto this particular object. Okay, so here the wave of light, okay, the wave of light enters into the eye, okay, through the pupil. Okay, so here the size of pupil will be increases, nothing but the size of pupil will be increases and decreases depending on the intensity of light. So here, whenever the intensity of light is less, okay, whenever the intensity of the light is very less, that in the sense, if whenever we enter into the dark room, okay, so the pupil size will be get dilated. Okay, the pupil size will be get dilated. So here, whenever we comes out of the dark room, the pupil size will be constricted. So here, the constriction and dilation of the pupil. Okay, so here the empty aperture, the empty space hole is called as a pupil. Okay, so here the pupil size will be constricted and dilated depending on the intensity of light. Fine. So here, whenever the beam of light falls onto an object, okay, so these light waves enters into the pupil. Okay, so depending on the intensity of light, the size of pupil will be adjusted so that this light will be focuses onto the biconvex lens. Okay, the wave of light, so will be focuses onto this biconvex lens. Okay, so here then the biconvex lens. So here the refraction of this light wave will be takes place and it will be falls onto the retina. Okay. Here this wave of light will be falls onto the retina. So here these photoreceptor cells. So here the receptor cells, nothing but in the ganglionic cells. So here due to the receiving of this wave of light, an action potential is generated. Okay. So here this action potential is carried towards the bipolar cells. So here from the ganglionic cells, right? The action potential, nothing but in the beginning we have discussed. The retina is consisting of ganglionic cells, bipolar cells, and as well as the photoreceptor cells. Okay, so here the wave of light, okay, whenever on falling of this wave of light onto the retina, this particular action potential is generated and it will be carried from ganglionic cells to, right, next bipolar cells. From the bipolar cells to, it will be, right, reaches onto the photoreceptor cells. So here from this action potential, it is picked up by the nerve. Okay, it is picked up by the, right, optic nerve. Okay, right. So here then this optic nerve which is receiving this action potential will be enters into the cortex region of the brain. Okay, so where the further processing of the image which is received in the form of nerve signal will be takes place in the brain. Okay, right. Actually, whenever the image is captured, so actually our eye is functioning like a camera. Okay, so whenever the eye captured a particular object, okay, so here it will be appears in an upside down, okay, in a reversal manner. So here this reversal figure, okay, in the form of beam of light, wave of light will be taken to the brain, where again the mapping of this image, nothing but the reversal of the correction of image will be takes place, so that we will see the perfect picture. And as well as one important thing, okay, so here each eyeball will take the different pictures. For example, if we close one eye, so the area that whatever we can visualize, that is nothing but our area of vision. Okay, so here one eye will send vision, so whatever we can able to observe with the single eye, so this information will be taken to the brain separately. So here nothing but one eye, so here the area where we can see, that is nothing but it is called as the area of vision. So here the area of vision of a particular eye and the area of vision of second eye, so that the separate figures, the separate pictures will be taken to the brain. So here where the further processing of brain, in the brain, the further processing of these pictures, okay, so will be takes place to form the 3D image. So here in this way we can able to observe the things and we can able to enjoy the beauty of nature. Now let us discuss about the disorders of eye, among which the important one is night blindness. So this night blindness is also called as nyctalopia. Okay, so here the persons who have this night blindness disorder, they cannot see, they cannot visualize the things in the night time, nothing but when the intensity of light is low. Okay, when the intensity of light is low, right, so then they cannot see the object, they cannot see the things. Okay, so here there will be a blurry vision in them, right. So this is about the night blindness. So here this night blindness is due to the deficiency of vitamin A, that is retinol. Okay, so here actually in our ear region, in our eye region, okay, so in the retina of the eye, it is consisting of some of the different pigments in the retina. What are they? They called as the rods and cones. Okay, up to now we have discussed. Okay, in the rods, it is consisting of pigment rhodopsin. Okay, it is called as rhodopsin. It is helpful in the scotopic vision, whereas the cones, these cones are consisting of a pigment that is called as a iodopsin. Okay, this iodopsin pigment present in the cones. These cones are helpful in the photopic vision. Okay, so these rods are helpful in the photopic vision. Cones are helpful in the photopic vision. Right? So here nothing but these pigments. These rods and cones, it is consisting of a pigment, rhodopsin and iodopsin. Nothing but in it is consisting of a protein that is called as an opsin. Opsin is a protein. Right? So here which is added by, it is combined with a substance of retinal. So here it is the substance from the vitamin A. Okay, so here it is supplied by the vitamin A. So here these rods and cones are formed by this opsin protein and a substance of vitamin A that is called as a retina. Okay, so here whenever the vitamin A is lacked in our diet, then that leads to the disease that is called as a night blindness. Okay, right, fine. So here the next disorder is myopia. Myopia. It is also called as nearsightedness. It is also called as nearsightedness. So here in this case, in this myopia, right? So the people can see only the nearer objects. The people can see only the nearer objects. The people cannot see the farther objects. Okay, so they cannot see the farther objects. So they cannot see. In a sense, nothing but in the people, those who have the myopia disorder, they can see only the objects, only the things. They can visualize the things which are very nearer to them. Okay, so they cannot see the farther. Okay, they cannot see the objects. They cannot visualize the farther objects. Okay, so that is called as a myopia. The second, another one, hypermetropia. Hypermetropia. This hypermetropia is also called as, it is also called as a farsightedness. Farsightedness. Okay, so in this case, in this hypermetropia case, the people can see the farther objects. Okay, so here they cannot see the nearest objects. The nearer objects cannot be seen. Okay, so here this is because of, right? So here whenever this light focuses onto this lens, okay, so here it is a biconvex lens, right? In the eye region we have a biconvex lens. Whenever this light waves enters onto the biconvex lens, it refracts. It refracts that light wave onto the retina. Okay, but in case the damage to the biconvex lens, instead of falling this retinal wave, instead of falling these light waves onto this retina, right? So they will be fall in front of the, okay, these light waves will fall in front of the retina. Instead of falling onto the retina, they will fall in front of the retina. Okay, so that is why they cannot see some of the objects which are nearer, some of the objects which are far away, in case of myopia and hypermetropia. So here it can be, right, it can be corrected by the adjusting the focal length. Okay, so by using the, right, by using the spectacles, nothing but by using the glass. So here nothing but by adjusting the focal length in it, by adjusting the focal length of this biconvex lens. Okay, so we can correct these particular, okay, disorders, myopia and hypermetropia. So the another disorder is cataract. Okay, the another disorder is cataract. Okay, so here the cataract is nothing but it is a cloudy. Okay, so here whenever the proteins which are present in this biconvex lens, some of the proteins are found in this biconvex lens. Okay, so here whenever these proteins the deficiency of proteins in the biconvex lens, right? So that forms a cloudy biconvex lens. Okay, so it forms a cloudy biconvex lens. Okay, so here, so that there will be an impairment in the vision, so that is called as a cataract. Okay, so here the next type of the disorder, that is called as a xerophthalmia. Okay, it is also an important disorder of eye, right? So here the xerophthalmia is nothing but it is a disorder, right, due to the vitamin deficiency A itself. Okay, so here in this xerophthalmia condition, the eyes completely become dried. Okay, so here nothing but the lacrimal glands, they cannot be able to secrete the tears. Okay, so here the tears cannot be able to produce, so that leads to the dry eyes. So this condition is called as a xerophthalmia. It is also the vitamin deficiency, vitamin A deficiency. Okay, so here nothing but by adding vitamin A to our diet, we can control these disorders. So here usually in the egg, in the fortified milk, in the fortified cereals, in the leafy vegetables. Okay, so here the vitamin A is highly rich. Nothing but the sources of vitamin. The sources of vitamin is nothing but egg, fortified milk, fortified cereals, and leafy vegetables. By adding them into our diet, we can get more amount of vitamin A, so that we can get rid of the causing of these particular disorders. So this is about the structure and functioning of eye. So I hope you have understood the content. So if you have understood, please like the video and subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you all.